everyone, and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. Today is Monday, January the 13th, 2020.
I have to look at my phone.
Yeah, I had to think about that one for a minute.
Yeah.
The Australian Open is knocking on the door. We're going to have qualies that are going to start relatively soon. So I'm getting really pumped up. Let's go! As I like to say, come on, let's go! Really excited about every major of the year. Be prepared for our fantasy team and tennis racket giveaway, by the way. I'll flash a link at the end of the video in case you want to compete for the Yonex Dual G97 or Y-Tech strings or 5K tennis shirts or Y-Tech shirts. But neither here nor there. Moving forward, let's jump right into the show. And I want to start today with a topic that involves Novak Djokovic and his dominant display of his game. By, of course, as we all know, beating Rafael Nadal in straight sets. I think he's won something like 15 or 19 straight sets against Rafael Nadal on a hard court. And I think one of our viewers, Native Reshuffle, actually sent me
that's
that stat. Is that Hitchhiker?
That's Hitchhiker.
I didn't realize it.
Yeah, he said that was Hitchhiker.
Oh, man. Hitchhiker, much love. I didn't put the two and two together. Hitchhiker's been here for a long time, and he competes for our prizes and tennis racket giveaway as well. But thank you, Hitchhiker, for sending me those stats. I think Novak Djokovic has won, and I forget what Hitchhiker said, something like 9 straight matches or 8 straight matches against Nadal on a hard court. So anyway, what I'm going to start this show with is this. Novak Djokovic, in my opinion, has fired a warning shot across the bow of every competitor.
19 consecutive sets on a hard court.
That's amazing. Novak Djokovic has thus fired a warning shot across the bow of every other tennis player on tour as we approach the Australian Open. Okay, would you agree or disagree with that? Should everyone right now be really worried about having to face that guy, including the likes of Federer, Nadal, TM, whoever?
They're always worried. Especially at the Australian Open. That's his baby. They're always worried about Novak at the Australian Open.
Fierce, especially with his game, his
I don't think he'll
fitness
be
level.
tired too. I don't believe that for 1 minute that he'll be tired. That's what professional athletes do. They play, they train. You can't be tired after that tournament and then taking a whole week break to play a slam. No way he's tired.
All right, let's pause for a minute and let's now shift gears and look at Rafael Nadal. It's in my opinion, and you know I give players a hard time, and I have myself over the years. I really will lay into anybody that I think is not acting like a professional athlete or a gladiator or a gentleman or a gentlewoman, if that makes any sense. If I say gentleman, that pertains to men and women. Sportsmanship, gamesmanship, it's across sexes. That doesn't matter. But did Rafael Nadal, as I think he did Rafael Nadal basically whine like a baby after the match and kind of look like a grumpy old man as Novak Djokovic made his acceptance speech, as well as griping about the cluster you-know-what.
And we'll get into
the
that.
cluster you-know-what of the Davis Cup reshift. He didn't even mention the Labor Cup because, Federer's his boy. But Labor Cup is not too far removed from that either. So you have the Labor Cup, then you have the Davis Cup, and then you have the ATP Finals, the Next Gen Finals, and then you have the ATP Cup. And there is some talk about still something else like the World Team Cup. And that's something we've discussed on previous shows. But did he whine like a baby and look like a frumpy old man after the match?
Yeah, he did. As you guys know, Serbia wins. They win the ATP Cup. Djokovic beats Nadal in 2 sets. And then Bautista beats Lajovic pretty handily. Okay. And then Nadal decides not to play doubles, which I thought was smart because he already lost. He was already down. So Nadal and Troicki play, and they beat Lopez and Bautista. 3 and 4 convincingly.
Which is a good win. Lopez is a double specialist.
Yeah, which is a good win. So they win. Let me present the trophy to you.
Okay, so this is the trophy presentation after the singles match, though. You were just talking about doubles.
The whole thing.
Okay.
All
right, so this is going to be a reenactment of. So she's going to present me, and I'm going to play Novak. She's gonna be the tournament chairman or whoever presents the trophy, and then she's going to morph into Nadal over there. All right. So after the win for Serbia, respectively, this is kind of how it went down. So all right, I won.
Well, Novak Djokovic, I want to present to you the ATP Cup. Congratulations to Serbia. Well done.
No, he didn't do that. But hey, thank you so much for allowing me to play at your tournament. The fans have been absolutely great, spectacular. I haven't felt, a presence like this on a court before. This has been a really great experience. I really, really, really have enjoyed everything, and I look forward to seeing you basically something like next year. So thank you very much, and take care. Something like that.
Should we show the real video clip?
Yeah, show the real video and let's see how close we got to that. Again, Djokovic made a very great speech, as he always does, but Nadal just really, he didn't look like he was really caring too much. So check this out.
All right, here we go.
Of all our Serbian team, like we did in these 10 days in Brisbane and also here in Sydney. You guys
look at that face.
carried us to
Holy
this victory,
Toledo.
and we owe you a great, great thanks from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you very much.
That was tough.
Yeah, so a tough deal. Take with it what you will. Again, I very rarely see Nadal look like a sore loser. But to me, he looked like a sore loser here, and then whined and complained about the I guess you could say.
I wanted to blow up that picture, but I can't.
But like the intense schedule. But Carl and I have spoken about this before any of these tournaments even happened.
He was like,
yeah, if you look at our videos, when we first started the show, we were doing videos of how is this going to pan out with players. It's too much, and here we are.
well, he does have a lot to say about it. I mean, I did write about it. He was definitely a sourpuss. What do you think? He was a sourpuss.
Yeah, he definitely flew south for the winter and stayed south. He was definitely a sourpuss. Matter of fact, his new nickname might be Nadal Rafael the Sourpuss Nadal.
Yeah, and he complains about the fans, which I think it's terrible because the Davis Cup is just like the ATP Cup. Crowds, they cheer for their country. They're loud. They're rowdy. That's the whole point of this tournament, right? It's supposed to be fun.
And it's not terribly far off. I know there's a different format, Europe versus the world or whatever. The Laver Cup's not too far off, so you've got all these team events.
Yeah, I don't get why he complained. He says, honestly, this is what Nadal says. Quote, honestly, the crowd was fantastic every single day. But sometimes people from some countries, they probably don't understand how tennis goes, Nadal tells reporters after loss. They think it's like football and the atmosphere tennis is different. The respect for players should be there. At some points, I think the respect from a small part of the crowd wasn't there.
See, again, this is
which country is he referring to?
Well, it's a nonsensical comment because Nadal has played Davis Cup. Nadal's been around the game for years, since he was 17 or a little bit younger than that, I think. For Nadal to say that is like you're scratching your head, or like the emoji where there's like a face.
You should say, really?
Like, really? So, I mean, Nadal has been around the game. Nadal has played on clay court dirt balling where crowds are, like soccer too. So
if he would have won, he would have never come.
Yeah,
that's reality.
So it's a sore loser type attitude. You can't tell me Nadal hasn't been, again, in Coliseum type courts with the likes of Rome and Roland Garros, with the crowds chanting like a Spanish footballer or a Spanish soccer team would. Mm-hmm. So that's what I call bullshit.
Yeah.
If he would have won, he would have not done that.
Yeah.
And Djokovic would have stood there like a gentleman. I can promise you.
Yeah, and then he complains about the format. He says Nadal said that more work needs to be done to prevent the tournaments being scheduled 2 months apart. He says, quote, we need to find a way to make a deal between the ITF and the ATP to create a big World Team Cup competition, not 2 World Cups within 2 months, said Nadal. I think that's a confusion for the spectators, and we need to be clear in our sport. And that I have to agree with. I think it's too much having the Davis Cup. Then you have this ATP Cup, and then they're talking about something else. And then you got the Australian Open right there. And there are people, I saw a lot of viewers saying, well, why wouldn't they put that tournament in February where there's really not much going on?
We have discussed this ad nauseum for multiple shows since before this happened. Let's just put it this way. A lot of people don't follow the business side of the sport. I follow it avidly. I find it equally as intriguing, especially having our own coaching and streaming business and so forth. The business side is very important. Staying tight with your competitors, staying ahead of the game is important. But what happens with this is we lose tradition for the almighty dollar, or whatever denomination of that dollar that you have. It started with, in my opinion, it started with the nightmarish match between Mahut and Isner there at the 3-day match at Wimbledon. Before you know it, people are like, geez, I got to get to work. I got to get on the subway. I can't get home.
That was a boring match.
So ultimately what we do is we're like, geez, we don't want to make our consumers mad, so let's just scratch the tiebreaker that's been around for 110 plus years at Wimbledon and just be done with it. Okay, stroke of a pen, here you go. The Davis Cup traditionally has been, it's always been an ITF event, the International Tennis Federation. And we've talked about this. A lot of people don't understand what the ITF does. It's an international organization that kind of facilitates tennis on an international kind of state level in a way. It's by country. And that because of, like in the United States, you go up to someone and you say, hey, you've heard the Davis Cup? What the heck is that? What are you talking about? So if you take that into consideration, some of the powers to be, the big showbiz, the big soccer and football and boxing promoters came to it and said, you know what, we can drop the dime on tennis. Just let us roll with it. Let's go. So here we go with the Davis Cup kind of shift and transition, not because they wanted to, it's because they had to, because here's Roger Federer with his Power 9 group with billions of dollars of backing, starts the Laver Cup. Basically at the same kind of time frame where the Davis Cup is kind of rolling pretty good towards the end of the year. And then we have talk of the ATP Cup, which started the year before last, which we talked about. We knew it would be at the beginning of the year. And then we knew there was a separate entity that wanted to promote what Nadal referred to as the World Team Cup, which we talked about a year and a half ago. It's a money grab, it's a money grab, it's a money grab. So what I'm going to just allude to and squash this topic is that these outbursts that we have seen at the ATP Cup, let me ask everyone a question. Would those outbursts be permissible on center court Wimbledon? If Medvedev went up to the chair umpire at center court Wimbledon and beat the chair with his racket, would Kyrgios be suspended, or would he be removed from the court? I'm going to say absolutely he would. A lot of these money grab tournaments, to me, are showcased. I'm not saying someone lets the other person win at all. But I do think, behind closed doors, hey, if you throw a fit, cool, don't push the limits too far, we'll let it slide. Hey, ref, get involved with the crowd. Let's make this like a WWE event.
Zverev, we had Tsitsipas, we had Medvedev, Kyrgios too. Smashed the racket.
Even Djokovic waylaid one.
He smashed the racket with Bautista. We had Djokovic. We just had all type of spectacles. We had Cuevas almost walking out in a match.
Yeah, jumping around on the court, acting like a fool.
Yeah, so we had quite a few.
So you can't tell me that, or maybe you disagree, but you can't tell me that these tournaments aren't at this point, at least the ATP Cup, in my opinion, even the next gen finals and some of the end of the year final. But I'll scratch that because I think that's going too far out into left field with theories of scripting. But the Laver Cup with all the shenanigans, Kyrgios and the team box, chugging a beer, what's up, all this stuff. You can't tell me that it's not designed to attract new, younger viewers. It's a business model. That's what it's about.
And from what I've read, a lot of people like it. They said get rid of the Davis Cup is what they said.
And that's great. But the sad thing is that here you are, and like you just said, in the discussion, the Davis Cup. This is like an analogy which you would take on an ACT test. The Davis Cup is to Wimbledon because Davis Cup has been traditional. It's been morphed into something else because of the money grabs. Wimbledon has been tradition and it morphed into something else because people had to get to work, and Isner and Mahut were playing for like 97 days straight and just serving at will. So we lose tradition there. The Wimbledon is to the Davis Cup, as is the Laver Cup. Is to the ATP Cup. It's the complete opposite, and it just didn't happen overnight.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is the new generation of tennis, or at least the marketing thereof, and I mean just the marketing thereof, is about entertainment. To me, World Wrestling Entertainment for these couple of tournaments is basically the same thing. It's tennis, entertainment, and that's it.
Right.
Okay? Period. What does this mean, though? Scratch all that. What does it mean for Rafael Nadal moving forward to lose like that? Another straight set victory to Novak Djokovic. What does that spell out for Nadal moving into the Australian Open? Does he have a chance?
He's made a lot of finals, hasn't he? A lot of Australian Open finals, and I think he's been beaten a lot by Djokovic. I don't think it's too much for him. I don't think he expects to win the Australian Open, honestly.
Comment on that below. What does this mean for Nadal moving forward?
Djokovic is good because he goes in with confidence. He's not injured. This is his baby for Nadal. I don't think he expects to win this. I think more like Federer's looking and like,
For me,
I'm gonna have to play really good to win this tournament.
Yeah, for me, the reason why Rafael Nadal, I don't care about how many slam counts he has or slam wins. I know I'm a hypocrite because I think as time moves on, when history looks back and we're all dead and gone, someone opens up an encyclopedia and says who's the best of all time. You're looking at slam count. That's just the way it rolls. Someone that doesn't know basketball looks at championships and looks at Jordan. I think there was, Wilt Chamberlain or something that won more in a different era, and I might be wrong there. But Rafael Nadal, I don't think can ever be in the greatest of all time discussion. And I'm not going to get into that because he has just dominated one surface, in my opinion. And the reason why is because with his loopy topspin balls, and now his aging body, in my opinion, that's been beat up pretty good. He needs the clay to slow the point down a little bit. I don't think physically he can compete with Rafael Nadal. I don't even think physically, I don't think Nadal can compete with Novak Djokovic. And personally, I don't think that
he's made 4 Australian Open finals.
Yeah.
4, that's a lot.
So Nadal acted like a sore loser. Once again, he was dominated on the hard court. I think moving forward, Nadal may not even win another French.
4
but we'll see.
And won the Australian Open. So I don't think that you're going too deep into this.
I'm not.
We know
Nadal is aging. He's your boy, but he's aging.
Did you expect him to win the U.S. Open?
No.
No. Okay, then shut up.
I do. Do you think Rafael Nadal will win the French Open this year?
Yes, that's where he has his chance.
I don't know.
You said that last year.
I don't know.
And he won.
I just, frumpy old loser, sore sourpuss.
Yes,
I didn't care for that sourpuss stuff.
I don't agree with that. I had to laugh. I couldn't believe he said the lack of respect. I don't know what kind of fans he was referring to. The Serbians? I don't know.
Can Novak Djokovic stay healthy throughout this year and have a dominant, maybe calendar year slam year?
Matt, can we make another bet? What other viewer here wants to make a bet? Because I had one Gus that made a bet and he lost right away. So anybody else want to bet that I know he's not going to win 4? Even though I like Novak, he will not win 4 in a row. No way.
Last.
You have to be superhuman, and that he is not. He's a lot older now, and he'll probably win the Australian. And I don't know what else he'll win.
Last part of this segment, and this is basically a yes or no question. Is Rafael Nadal right to gripe about the ATP Cup?
To complain about the way they organize it? Yes, obviously. But not to be a sore loser, no.
Agreed. Money grabs are money grabs, and the dollar is taking tradition.
And he said he probably won't play the Davis Cup. He said, I'm not doing 2. He said, I'm not doing 2. It's too much.
All right. This is business.
Even though they won
This is businessmen and not necessarily the players. I think that's why Djokovic even heads the player council, I still think to this day. But it's businessmen behind closed doors boxing it out for the dollar and throwing away tradition and route. We've talked about this. We said it would happen before these even started, and what happened?
Yeah.
Okay. Moving forward, Alex de Minaur currently is day by day because of an abdominal tweak in playing the Australian Open. Yes.
Well, he pulled out of Adelaide, which Djokovic and Medvedev did as well, which I think is very smart. There's no need for them to play that. They played a lot of tennis.
I only mention this because Alex de Minaur played some lights out tennis at this ATP Cup. Okay. Yeah. Now, I do want to bring the big 3 into this conversation with the likes of obviously Djokovic, Nadal, Federer. Alex de Minaur and the rest of the players on the planet that are lucky enough to be in the top, 128 that get into a major or so forth, they have to put out so much effort to play with these guys.
But he only played Nadal.
Well, I know, but let me rewind for a second. De Minaur played and lost to Evans in a really, really long, tight, really good match.
Right.
The reason why I want to mention de Minaur is not to focus just on him. It's to every other player out there at basically de Minaur's level, which is a very high level. Top 20 in the world.
He plays well, yes.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
But in order for these type of players, let's say the de Minaurs, even the Kyrgioses or the Tsitsipas's or any of them, any of the high level, next could be great type guys, when they have to meet players like Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, who seemingly play every point and always have still happy feet and positive energy and swing freely. They stay with it, and they can do it for so long. These guys, they have some epic matches, but after it, they end up tweaking something. They end up breaking down. Like when Shapovalov was playing Djokovic. Mm-hmm. Shapovalov won, what was it, the first set? Or the second set? I don't recall.
Won the first set.
He was playing lights out, gung-ho, blistering tennis, bam, just waylaying missiles, boom, boom. Everything was just go for it, and he was hitting his targets. But eventually it breaks down. Eventually The body slows down, you get a little tired, you get a little late. Now you have to settle in a little bit, and when it comes settle in time and the other guys, the big three, are settled in as always, they're going to steamroll you. Eventually, you're going to break. So here's an example of de Minaur, a young, aspiring, a really fun player, a heavy hitter, and so forth. Unfortunately, put out a lot of energy at a young age, and tweaks and nagging abdominal. I think that he's been having issues with, what reminds me of Andreescu in a way.
Right.
They put so much out, explosive tennis, to the ultimate goal to win something or to win a match, and then after that, they just don't have much more left in the tank. What does that tell you about up-and-coming tennis? What do players like, say, Shapovalov, de Minaur, Evans, who's aging, what do players have to do to beat these guys? I mean, they can't play grueling, high-risk tennis all the time.
No, you got to play smart tennis. Our little guy's just being very loud.
Oh, he's good. He's good.
Well, you have to play really, really smart tennis. You can't be grinding every single point. I mean, these guys are the top three because they know how to put the ball away. They know, well, let me take that back. Both Nadal and Djokovic are grinders. That's the truth. But they just have better fitness. I don't know what their secret is. Diet, they live it, they breathe it. I don't know.
Is it positive energy? Is it their team? Is it them as being a unique, superhuman, extraterrestrial type entity? I don't know, but these guys that we're seeing, we mentioned on our last show, what will it take for there to be another big three? What we used to say as kids, what would it take for someone to beat Sampras? And then as we were children, we used to say, what would it take to beat Emerson or Borg, So anyway, I think it might have to morph into rollerblade tennis for someone to put out.
Oh, stop. I hate when you say that. That's so dumb.
Anyway. All right, so hopefully de Minaur gets better, but ultimately, if de Minaur faces any of the big three at the Australian, I think he'll go down.
Well, I never considered de Minaur ever beating these three. He's not in my book to beating any of those three.
All right,
Before you go there, Rublev wins Doha, beating Motet, which is a good win for him. He also complained about the ATP Cup. That was not fair. He said it was not fair. So here's another good player. I think he'll have a good chance at the Australian Open.
All right, so next topic is I want to discuss is Serena Williams. Mm-hmm. As you all know, I'm a Serena Williams fan. However, until as of late, I've had to kind of turn down the volume on the TV because she grunts like a ninja mixed with someone jamming their hand on a hot plate. Every shot. And I haven't seen a player actually grunt on footsteps. She's taking grunting to another level. We don't just have the hit grunt. We don't have like the overhead grunt. We don't have I just one grunt. Yeah! Come on! Now we have the footstep grunt. I'm gonna make a funny line because we're all human beings and this has happened to everybody. Have you ever farted or passed gas and every time you take a step you kind of everybody's done that. Everybody's done the fart step. I'm like, yeah, let's go. I got a fart step. Everybody's done that. You're humans, so don't tell me I'm wrong. Now, with that said, Serena doesn't need to fart step, okay? Because she doesn't.
I never thought of that.
She does a grunt step. So here's her in a point, okay? Here's her in a point. Shot coming. Huh. Hitting the backhand. Now here comes the short ball. So you get the shot, you get the approach. So forget the fart step. She gives it to you in the grunt. All right. With that aside, Serena Williams wins her first title since 2017. Congratulations to her, and donated her winnings to the bushfire efforts in Australia.
Yeah, that's good. She wins her first title since being pregnant with her daughter in 2017, which we know the last tournament she won was the Australian Open. She donated $43,000, which is good. I mean, they need everything. It's pocket change. She should have donated some more. I mean,
No,
she could
well,
show some
no.
more. $43,000.
That's a lot of
For
43.
her, it's pocket change.
Well, yes, I understand that.
But I think that's great because
no,
I'm not
you're wrong
complaining.
with that.
Shut up.
People are donating $100 per
I think
ace.
it's great. I was about to say that.
She
100
just
per
donated
ace.
4,300 aces.
Yeah, that's
in
what
one shot.
I thought that's great. I think her, Barty, Sharapova, Djokovic, Here goes. There's a lot of players who are donating money.
Yeah.
I mean, you got DiCaprio who donated millions. So, I mean,
Look, she fought hard. She deserved the win.
Was it a big win?
Yeah, was it a big win? I mean, she played Pegula in the final. I mean, come on.
It wasn't a big win. She didn't play anyone big. Let's be real. Anisimova, she destroyed. It wasn't anyone big. Honestly,
tight with Mikhail.
I think it's great. It's great for her confidence going into the Australian Open. It's great to win a title. Not many tennis players can win a title. But this is Serena we're talking about. We're used to seeing her win. She did lose with her BFF to Townsend and Muhammad in doubles, so they didn't get to win that. Too bad for Wozniacki, because I'm sure Wozniacki wanted to win something. But I'm more impressed, honestly, with Karolina Pliskova winning the Brisbane International.
Let's go.
She beat Madison Keys, and both of these girls play tough opponents. I mean, Osaka was in that tournament. Barty was in that tournament. I mean,
why didn't Serena play that?
That's what I'm saying.
Serena should have played that tournament. She should have played
that tournament. That would have been a good warm-up. I know why.
She would have gotten beaten.
She would have gotten beaten. I mean, Pliskova beats Osaka in the semis, and Keys beats Kvitova. Great match.
Yeah,
tough match.
Yeah, and the group of girls you just named, or women rather, respectively, are those that I think are going to be your favorites at the Australian Open. Hence why they played there. They were ready to fight.
Yeah, I mean, it went to 3 sets. It was like 7-6, 6-4, 6-4. It was tight match.
Yeah, first of all, great win for Serena. Great sportsmanship to donate the check, big time. Good for you. But however, her competition wasn't lights out, and she had some tough-looking matches, regardless of the score. Less the Anisimova match, she rolled over her.
Yeah.
But everyone else, even if she went at like 3-2 or 3-3, I think she even went to three sets with Mikhail, I think, or somebody. But nonetheless, she should have won it, and she should have won it easily, but her matches were tight. So what does that tell you? In my opinion, it tells me that I do not think she makes the final at the Australian Open. I think she may make a quarterfinal, maybe sneak into a semi, but I think her road will stop there.
I give Pliskova a better chance than her.
I do as well. I give Osaka a better chance. I even give Madison Keys a better chance. I just do.
Give Halep a better chance.
Halep a better chance. Yeah. Kerber's on the comeback. Kvitova out there.
Kvitova, yeah.
A lot of them. Don't forget about my girl Lazicki. What's up? Let's get down. What? Let's go, Lazicki. Let's go.
Preston, did you just say Lazicki?
I'm just kidding. I hope Lazicki shows up, though. I love that girl.
What?
Anyway, I mean, her game. She has a body like you. She's ripped up.
You might as well say, what's her name? The other one that you like from Puerto Rico.
Monica Puig.
You might as well say she's going to win.
I mean,
you might as well say Sabalenka.
Well, Monica was my ex-girlfriend, so...
Gotcha.
You know...
He's got a lot of ex-girlfriends.
Anyway, I'm just totally kidding. You're always my soldier, my partner in crime, my everything.
Yep.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I am who I am because I met you.
Oh, God, that was cheesy.
Let's get down!
That was so cheesy.
Let's roll! Let's go!
That was cheesy.
Let's go! Boom!
Guys never use that. That will not win a girl. You will not win a girl over with that.
Oh, that'll win.
No, that will not win.
All right, I say that she's still not ready to...
she doesn't look fit enough.
She doesn't look fit enough. So here's a statement I've been saying for a year and a half doing this show. I always say, Serena, she's coming back, but she still doesn't look ready yet. How much longer can we say yet? Because time is ticking, and she's going to be 733 years old, still trying to break this 24. Yeah. Time is ticking, so how much longer can I say she's not ready yet?
Yeah.
I mean...
You can't say I just had a baby, too, because...
Time is ticking.
Well,
time is ticking.
She's not a little baby anymore.
Time is ticking.
Yeah.
Next segment. Here we go. So now, ranked number 182 in the world, Bernard Tomic, who is now Tomic, the Australian, by the way, in case you don't know. Been around for a while. If I remember correctly, he was the youngest player to ever win a match at the Australian Open at the age of 16, if I remember correctly. I think he won a first-round match in his first Australian Open, I think. Check my math on that. Bernard Tomic was denied the last 2 Australian wildcards, which were awarded to Alex Bolt, respectively. Great player. And someone I'm not familiar with very much. Anyway, I've heard the name but never seen the game. Andrew Harris. But let's rewind real quick. Now ranked number...
That's like a...
That's a smack in the face. But however, let's look at why. Now 182 in the world. He reached a career high of number 17 in the world. At one point in his career, he was the youngest player to win a match in Melbourne in 2009 at the age of 16. He was denied the wild card by Tennis Australia and must now go through qualifying and win 3 matches to get into the main draw, which is normal. If players don't get a wild card or aren't ranked high enough in the world, they got to go through quali. Normal. However, Tomic is an Australian. At one point, I think he was one of the best, or if not the number one Australian player at one point in time. Maybe wrong on the number one, but he was definitely in the thick of it. He has now a Turkish coach by the name of Gavin Hopper. We can't forget, though, the reason why Bernard Tomic is now 182 in the world is because he went through a long period of tumult with tennis, with his father, with the game, and spats with Tennis Australia and the likes of Leighton Hewitt, especially saying things like, the Tennis Australian is against me, Tennis Australia has a flawed system, and I'm the victim of it. Stuff is as outlandish as Bernard Tomic claiming Leighton Hewitt came to his hotel room and demanded to know this and know that. Anyway, squash that. Moving forward, here as of recent, the Australian Tennis Organization, Australian Tennis, the chief, the head of that, right, released a statement. His name is Craig Tiley. Mm-hmm. Released a statement, quote, Bernard Tomic does not meet the standards of behavior and commitment to himself, the team, or the sport. Okay? For those of that you don't know Bernard Tomic, forget about this true or false.
Wasn't he, didn't they take his check at the Australian Open for not trying hard?
I don't think it was
Wimbledon.
No, it was a grass event. I think it was a warm-up to Wimbledon, but he was fine because he wasn't trying hard, supposedly.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was one of the last year deals. And I think a girl, Tatishvili, had the same thing coming off injury at the French. Anyway, is that true or false? Does Bernard Tomic meet the standards of a professional athlete?
He doesn't, no.
I think he does. I think he's someone like Kyrgios in a way, lost soul, still looking for the right path in life.
Wimbledon.
I get it.
It was Wimbledon. His full 56,000 was taken.
I get that he's 27 years old, but 27 years old, geez, depending on your development as a child, that's why I make reference to how are you going to...
He's 27 already?
He's 27. So he's a man. He's a grown man. But let's just say sometimes when you're isolated from the age of 16, that's why I always think about Coco Gauff and how quickly she's coming into it. His life was consumed with tennis from a baby. Sometimes we don't develop as human beings, and that's why I say, hey, if I have my daughter and she's 15, let's just use Coco Gauff. I want to be careful of how much I consume her life with just tennis because she's not ready or he's not really developed to handle anything else on and off the court, spats and disagreements and how to work things through and relationships because everything is just the ball. Okay, and that's how tennis is, unfortunately. And
27. How time flies.
So my question to everyone, and we're going to get past this, is can Bernard Tomic, at 27 years old, find a path of sense in his head and win 3 matches in the qualies at the Australian and make the main draw? Can he do it?
It's too late.
I think he can do it.
I didn't realize he was 27. That's too late.
He has a good game. He has a kind of a sliced one-handed backhand, a slice and dice, great on grass game.
Okay.
He's got a good grass game.
He's okay.
Can he win 3 matches and get through it? I hope he does, by the way.
I hope he does, because you hate to see any player, like they said on that article, fall from grace.
Can we do a quick time check?
Sure.
All right. The last segment of this show. Where we
33.
All right. Good time.
Well, we still got some Ulster tournaments coming up.
All right, so the last couple things that I have, number one, and I think you have a text message, is going to be the betting odds for the Australian Open. Back in my day, before I had 5 kids and a wife, I enjoyed placing some tennis bets, some football bets. That was kind of a fun thing for me. I know better now because I can't afford to squander a nickel. But I keep up with the betting lines. So what I wanted to do is have a quick discussion on the betting lines for the Australian Open.
Okay.
And end that with this, or involve this in what I'm going to read you. If you had a free $100, okay, whatever your denomination of currency is in your respective country, if you had 100 or equivalent to 100, say US dollars, and someone gave it to you, here you go, free. But so I'm not calling you a bettor per se. Here's a free 100, but for me to give this to you, you have to bet it on one player, male or female, at the Australian Open. Okay. So can you hand me the text messages I sent you?
Yep.
All right. So how this works, how betting odds, at least generally, for the most part in tennis work, you'll hear a number like plus 300 or plus 500 or plus 1,300 or something. That means basically if you bet $100, you would win 300. So if I say plus 300, that means if you bet 100, you'd win 3. If it says plus 20,000 and you bet 100, you'd win 20,000. Okay, that's odds. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to start out with the top 10 women and their odds. Okay, so here we go. Serena plus 500. You bet $100 on her, you're going to win 500, and so forth. Serena Williams is the odds-on favorite, plus 500. Bianca Andreescu is pulled out, was plus 600. Ashley Barty plus 800. Naomi Osaka plus 800. Simona Halep plus 900. Carolina Pliskova plus 1,400. Svitolina plus 1,600. Petra Kvitova plus 1,600. And Sabalenka at plus 1,800.
Sorry.
Okay?
I'll go with Osaka.
Okay, out of that group, I would go with Osaka too.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, think about some of these oddballs. Eugenie Bouchard is a plus 25,000 bet. You bet $100 on Bouchard, you could win 25,000. If she wins the whole tournament.
No, that's not happening.
Venus Williams at plus 10,000.
Nah, that's not happening either.
Danielle Collins at plus 6,600.
I would take a risk with her.
Kazatkina at plus 5,000.
She hasn't won a match. She's been losing.
Caroline Garcia at plus 6,600.
No way. You might as well give away 100.
Exactly, and that's how these bets work. I think if I had to choose one out of the females, I would take the Osaka at plus 800.
Yeah, same.
Okay, bet 100. She may win it, may not, but hey, I might win 800 if I'm right.
Yeah.
Okay. On the men's side, and again, odds shift across lines, state lines, country lines, but these are mostly Vegas odds, Las Vegas, U.S. odds. All right, on the men's side, Novak Djokovic is plus 165. Heavy favorite. You bet 100, you're winning 165. So
okay.
you're not risk. So most people would bet like $1 million here to win 165,000. That'd be a big money bet there. Not really worth the bet in the first place. Rafael Nadal at plus 350.
No,
I wouldn't want to lose $100.
No, I'm not betting.
Daniil Medvedev at plus 800. Stefanos Tsitsipas at plus 1,000. Roger Federer at plus 800. Thiem at plus 1,400. Zverev at plus 1,600. Andy Murray at plus 2,000. That's pretty good odds for him.
But he's not even playing.
Okay, he pulled out. That's right. These odds were as of January 1st. So they're about 9 days off, and they fluctuate by the minute, by the way.
I'll go with Federer.
I'm not done. We have Nick Kyrgios at plus 3,300. That's an interesting bet. And so what I'm going to do is go down to some oddballs just to give you an idea. Denis Shapovalov at plus 6,600. Batista Agut at plus 10,000.
That's not happening.
Kevin Anderson at plus 10,000.
Yep.
Joe Wilfred Tsonga at plus 10,000.
Yep.
Grigor Dimitrov at plus 10,000. Fabio Fognini at plus 10,000. And the last one I'll state here just for time. Let's go Karen Khachanov at plus 6,600.
I'll go with Federer, but just because I know Djokovic is going to win, I'm not making much money, so I'm going to be risky. I'll go with Federer.
I think that's the safest bet, getting the net return. So anyway, your odds-on betting favorites for this Australian Open, as of the betting lines currently, and they fluctuate again by the minute and by the amount of betting that's going on, would be Serena and Djokovic. I disagree with Serena. Totally agree with Djokovic. All right. So before I'm going to do the very end of what I have, and I'm going to turn it over to Carla to end it. I haven't done this segment in a long time, or we have not. But we have a segment that we retired, but I'm going to bring it back to life. What's up, Wildlife One? He always plays this game, so I know I'm going to see Wildlife One's answers and probably no one else's, but I hope so. We're going to end my part of the show with a rare segment, unretired, called 12 Rapid Fire Questions. Carla has not seen these questions. You obviously have not. I'm going to read them.
I didn't even know you wrote it.
And they're going to be answered quickly, to the point. We're not going to ponder them, yes or no, or whatever the most. And we're going to go through.
Let's go. Jeffrey.
Question number 1. Look at the camera. You may not look at my question. You must answer them quickly.
Am I in a game show?
Let's go. Woo! I mean, I have to do some Ric Flair, since tennis, at least for part of the year, is basically WWE, right?
Sure, just smash back.
All right, question number 1. 1 of 12. Here we go. Question number 1. Will Novak Djokovic win the 2020 Australian Open?
Yes.
Question number 2. Did Rafael Nadal whine like a child after getting thumped, i.e. his butt kicked, by Novak Djokovic?
Yes.
Number 3. Who is the best player in the world right now on the women's tour?
No one.
Give me an answer. Osaka?
Osaka, I'll say.
All right. Question number 4. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low, 10 being high, how much did you enjoy the inaugural ATP Cup?
I'll give it an 8.
Okay, I agree with your 8, but I agree with your 8 only because it was written well by the producers behind the scenes.
It made it interesting. Better than Labour Cup.
Yeah. The Labour Cup just sucks. It's cheesy. It's like watching a bunch of pretty boys take pictures of themselves.
Some of them are not pretty, though.
It's whack. Laser Cup is cheesy. I'd be shocked if that lasted. That's just cheesy ball. Maybe they'll just show...
There's a lot of cheesy people in the world.
Maybe they'll just show Zverev and Federer crying on each other the whole match, and on the other side they'll show Kyrgios slamming a beer, and they'll just, shoot that back and forth. Just forget the tennis. Just chug a beer and hug Zverev with a puppy. All right. Question number 5. Would the meltdowns that we witnessed at the ATP Cup with the likes of Medvedev, Zverev, and Tsitsipas especially, would they be allowed on center court Wimbledon?
No.
Thought so. Scripted. Question number 6. Does Nick Kyrgios have a chance to win the Australian Open?
Yes.
So that plus $6,600 bet sounds pretty good.
Sounds good, but I'm not that risky.
I think if I had that $100, I'd roll with Kyrgios because I'd like that net return of $6,600. Let's get down.
All right.
Let me win that 66.
All right, time.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
Got wrapped up in that. That's how I roll. Let's get down. Woo!
All right, you wasted like 3 seconds there.
Let's get down. It's all right. I own these 3 seconds. Let's go. Question number 7. Does Nick Kyrgios make it through the year without being suspended?
Yes, I think so. This year he'll be more calm.
Yeah, that whole better be careful. I got a police officer on the side that's going to watch, and if you act up,
I think so.
That's a joke. They're not going to suspend him. The ATP can't afford to suspend him. Question number 8. Are you competing in our fantasy team competition for prizes or our tennis racket giveaway competition?
I have to, yes.
Yonex V-Core, freshly strung, freshly gripped. Let's roll. All right? Be ready. Plan to win. Question number 9. Your favorite thing to do on a rainy, foggy day is what?
Watch a certain show you hate.
What? Desperate Housewives or something?
Real Housewives of Atlanta and New Jersey.
Look, I'm not a TV guy at all unless I'm watching sports, but I can tell you one thing. When she watches this Desperate Reality Housewives...
Desperate Reality.
Whatever it is.
It's funny.
Look,
I would never do any of that, which is why I watch it.
I can honestly tell you, I get dumber watching that. Okay, I lose brain cells watching this just jargon.
Especially New Jersey ones.
Scripted. Desperate Housewives is to...
It's not Desperate Housewives.
Well, whatever it is. Housewives
It's
of
real.
whatever. Real Housewives of wherever in the country. They have like 37 of them.
I don't watch all of them.
Is equivalent to the ATP Cup and Labor Cup.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right. Question number 10. Does Serena Williams tie and or pass Margaret Court with a 24th major? Ever? No, I don't think so either. Question number 11. Who wins the Super Bowl? Multiple choice. Who wins the Super Bowl? NFL, football, U.S. A, Tennessee Titans. B, Kansas City Chiefs. C, the Green Bay Packers. Or D, the San Francisco 49ers. Or E, I could care less.
49. I would say 49ers for you, but I'm a Packers fan, so we'll see what happens.
Let's go, Niners. Let's get down. Whoa! Boo! Let's go, Garoppolo! Come on!
All right, next
Make
one.
those Patriots pay for dropping Garoppolo, B-Dog. Shouldn't have traded Garoppolo, B-Dog. Salt. San Francisco's only going to go 8-8. Salt. NFC Championship 12-3.
All right, come on. Next question.
Question number 12. Will injuries plague and ultimately end Bianca Andreescu's career?
No.
So she's still in the thick of it?
Yeah, she's 19.
Will we see her before clay season, or will she wait until after?
After. I think we'll see
do
after.
you think she'll play the 2 hardcourt big tournaments?
Of course. Yes.
So she'll play Indian Wells and Miami.
Of course. Yes.
All right.
Well, she didn't play Miami last year.
Let's roll.
All right. Okay. Well, we have the Adelaide.
Adelaide, yeah.
Adelaide going on.
The last warm-up before the Aussie.
Well, there's 2 of them. There's
Most players
Adelaide,
don't play this.
Adelaide and there's Auckland. Adelaide, as we know, a lot of the big players pulled out. Jiri is playing this one.
Let's go, Serbia.
Rublev against Query is a good match.
That's a great match.
Struff and Felix Auger-Aliassime are playing
That's
this tournament.
another great match. That's going on today?
No, Rublev playing Query. Struff is not playing any. I didn't write who he's playing. Neither did I write who Felix is playing. But they were in that.
That's
tournament.
okay. We got tennis, babe.
And then Auckland for the men. We got some big hitters here. Isner, her catch. Pear beats Sinner. Beats a young kid. Millman, Fognini, Tiafo. Loses to Mikhail Weimer. Ouch. Hachinov and Shapovalov played this tournament. So this is a good tournament. The women's, they also play Adelaide, which is a smaller tournament. I don't think I wrote that one down. And then
Okay.
Then we have a big, no, actually Adelaide's a premier tournament for them. Barty plays, Sloane Stevens plays, Vondrashova plays, Benchik beat Kasatkina. Poor Kasatkina. Kennan, Collins, Vekic, Sakari, Yastrenska, Kerber, your girl Sabalenka, and Halep. And then we have Hobart, which is a smaller tournament. Muguruza and Garcia play. By the way, did you hear the news about Ostapenko?
Oh, her father died.
Another dad, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think she'll play the Australian Open. If you guys had any hope on her, I mean, that's gonna be tough. She just lost her dad.
Yeah, so again,
that was the personal reason why she didn't play.
Yeah,
and
you don't know, her father, may have been dealing with something for a while. You never know.
Yeah, you don't know.
But you have two really top-notch players,
young players.
Ostapenko again won a French Open. Anisimova up and coming.
Young,
but both of them lost their father. So may peace be with you guys out there. And Ostapenko, by the way, is one of my favorite up and coming tennis players. Now I've said up and coming for a while.
Maybe this will change.
But maybe this will give her the hump to get over that bell curve and to get back into the thick of it with the best of the best in the world.
Yep.
So that's it, everyone. Thanks so much for watching, by the way. Please subscribe to the channel. We have our own goals here. We compete as tennis players and coaches and parents and so forth, but we do have a goal to get to, and that's 1,000 subscribers, and not for any reason except of outside of thinking that we're doing something right.
Yeah, share it.
But
spread the news.
We're humans, and this is just what you see is what you get, and that's it. So hopefully it's all right with you. Share the video. Check out the video that I'll put on the screen. It may already be up here somewhere about the fantasy team prizes competition as well as a tennis racket giveaway. The Australian Open is knocking on the door, and we're going to be getting deep into it, discussing draws, breaking them down, fantasy team, the whole bit. So get ready for that. Quali starts soon. In the meantime, take care.
Hi, Justin.
Adios. Here, come here, little guy. Come here, bro. Come here. All right, he's a shy guy, but he's down here. See you soon. And again, thanks so much. Again, if I had a trophy here like Djokovic had, I would lift it and say, thank you much. It's a pleasure to be here. We're human. We do make mistakes and may go too far off into one direction, but we try to keep the path on the straight and positive. So anyway, take care. See you later. Adios. And thanks so much, as always. Peace.